Welcome back, Retro Sports Gamers 2, the Retro Sports Gamer channel. It's Green Majik. Tonight we're playing a little game called Tecmo Super Bowl on Sega Genesis. Continuing a series of amazing, incredible, epic, even Chicago, Indiana Bears quarterbacks. We're on number 4. We stepped over number 3 because I got an idea for it, but it's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit to figure it out. I hope it's a special treat when we circle back to number 3. We're still trying to figure out who is the mysterious number 5. Incredible, amazing Bears quarterback of all time. I think I know who it's going to be, if I'm honest, but I can be swayed if there are some strong arguments in the chat, in the comments, in the Discord. But locked in at number 4, Jim Harbaugh. Tom already knows Harbaugh's about to tear it up, and has been a little bit tearing it up, honestly. I bought this game for the first time, the Genesis version, not too long ago. It was like $10 or $15 at the store. I'm like, gotta get it. Enough of this BS of not owning Tecmo Super Bowl on Sega Genesis. I do own Tecmo Super Bowl 3 on Genesis, which I was playing the other day. The Caleb Williams, we'll see if he can handle Jeff George. So I've been doing a little work with the Bears. Harbaugh did get hurt, but I believe he came back. And we're 7-0. And we're dominating. So that's good. I'm 7-0. I'm hoping to get another 7 wins tonight. We'll see. It's almost my bedtime, but I've got my guaranteed rate field cup here, filled with some mystery oldies goodness. There's different stuff in here. And what I've noticed, Tom, I don't know if you've played this version much, but when the games get simulated, it doesn't seem like the computer teams get a lot of yards or a lot of points. So if we go to NFL leaders, Jim Harbaugh tearing it up, as you would expect. 33 touchdowns, 1 interception. I feel really salty about that 1 interception. I wanted to have a perfect year. Sadly, it's not going to happen. But we are 7-8 weeks in. Warren Moon has 1,000 yards. Like, what the heck? 1,800. And another thing, random commentary here on the game. The color palette is not working. Like this green background business, I don't know. And it's most of these, the green, like I can barely see what's going on. It's just the original Tecmo Super Bowl and NES did this a lot better with the presentation. And the Super Nintendo version, from what I can remember, did a lot better. So that's kind of a nitpick, but these are things that does affect your experience of the game. The Bears killing it. on sackages. They're killing it on receivages. So Neil Anderson actually, okay, white text looks good. Yeah, I feel that. I think the green background is just it needs to be darker. It needs to be darker. Not a bad color. It's just the mix. The mix is not there for me. So we got Neil Anderson doing work. A lot of checkdowns. I've been very check down Charlie with Harbaugh, especially as the whatchamacallit, the rubber band kicks in. So before I forget, I'm going to put this on Discord. But yeah, just like the Super Nintendo version, running is kind of not viable at this point in the season. I mean, maybe if you have a really, really fast guy, but Neil Anderson's been in bad for me. And feel the mix of Joe Montana. Yeah. Yeah, I did play. I played some good quarterbacks, but honestly, I guess mostly I haven't. Yeah, Montana's going to be tough, especially in the playoffs. Um, er, I haven't. I haven't. One thing that helps is, and we'll get into the game, but the Bears' defense is a lot not as good. Like they have the best defense in original Tecmo Super Bowl. For one thing, they don't have Mike Singletary. But also things like Richard Dent no longer a high interception. They just take that away. But they still got the fridge, and they have Steve McMichael, which I believe he's not in the NES version because they have Trace Armstrong as a defensive end. Here they have Trace Armstrong as an outside linebacker. So that's kind of nice, even though his hitting power is low. Morrissey, high hitting power and okay interception. So Morrissey actually gets a little bit of a jump. Kane, actually, I mean, he's in good, so he looks incredible. But Joe Kane's pretty good. John Roper, pretty terrible. But he's in this position he's in. He's been getting a lot of sacks. The secondary, Stinson, very much nerfed from his Tecmo Super Bowl. Like he went from a 69 INT to a 38. What in the heck? And then he went down to a 31 rush power. So like what the hey? He was like a top 15, almost top 10 defensive back, I think. Wolford is their star. Wolford is even better than he was in the NES version. So he's their star. He's at the second cornerback position. Mark Carrier from 81 INT to 38. Wow. At least he's got okay speed. Not even good speed, but okay speed. And then Sean Gale, he's an excellent, so this is deceiving, but he's only a 44 INT. He's got good hitting power. Okay speed with the 38. But basically, the defense, hella nerfed. I've just got a man. I got a man Wolford. Yeah, Harbaugh, the man, the myth. Um, Not great. Not great. He's kind of like a Troy Aikman, an NES Troy Aikman here. Although his max speed is 25, so that's nice. He doesn't feel fast. The defend it's really hard to shake defenders in this version of the game. Also, I'm not very familiar with it, but they will get you. They will get your buns. You got to get rid of the ball quick. Peter Tom Willis, legend. Spoiler, he probably is not in this series of 10 great quarterbacks, but he's played some. He's got a good rating, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, okay? 10-yard average, okay? So he was a good backup. Craig Hayward, Ironhead, slow, high hit power. I think even his receptions got nerfed, which is a bummer because checking down with a not high PC quarterback, you want those guys to be there. Like Brad Muster has great receptions for a running back, but he gone. I guess he got traded for Ironhead. Still got the real deal Neil. He's down to a 44 max speed. He isn't good now. So he went from a 63 to a 44. 63, yeah, because Butts and Davis, not Davis, Humphrey are 69, so 63. Anyway, his reception still decent though with 50. Johnny Bailey gone, sadly. Darren Lewis, kind of a trash bag. Mark Green, not good, not good. Tom Waddle, okay, so he's an excellent. So this is misleading, but 44 max speed, 50 reception is not terrible, but it is faster than the Bears receivers in original NES. So that's nice. Speaking of original receivers in NES, Wendell Davis got a bump in max speed and reception. So congratulations. His running speed is 69. Wow. Is that okay? That's normal. Okay. So I guess the running speed and the rushing power got flipped in this version. Because I think the RP is 69 in NES. But anyway, Anthony Morgan, not giving you much. Keith Jennings, 31-31, and only a 44 hit power for a tight end, so not good, but he does have the 8 tuds. I've been finding him on the red gun. Kelly Blackwell. Wow. Where's your Cat Bozo when you need it? Jerry Fontenot from the Packers, I believe. So he's only a 44 hit power. He's in bad. And they've been blowing me up. I've been feeling every bit of that. Mark Bortz, good, decent hitting power. Mirko Jurkovic, only a 38 hit power. So the Bears offensive line also just getting hella nerfed. This is not the same team. 56 hitting power, not bad. And then 44 for Van Horn. Yikes. And I think Van Horn would become a very, very good Bears offensive lineman. So you hate to see it. Anyway, it's enough of a preamble. So I did 3-year mode, which is kind of a fun thing you can do. And we play the Saints next, so it'll be Brad Muster time. And yeah, their quarterback, I forget if it's Walsh It might be Bobby Haybear. I don't think it's Jim Everett. I think that's like a later Tecmo game. And we're gonna dive in. The Saints, the Sinners. The presentation, the cutscenes, the graphics are different than the Super Nintendo version, which I kind of enjoy. Like I like seeing the different stuff. They almost always do touchback. All right, so there's Muster. I've pretty much always been calling pass one and just kind of trying to do some Wolford stuff. That guy's wide open, I think. Ooh, trying to get Muster over the middle. So on shotguns, actually, I usually try to get Trace Armstrong to bump Steve McMichael and just kind of try to make something happen. And you're so slow. You're so slow. I have a hard time even getting out of bounds. But yeah, so I really okay. What did I do here? Okay. We got some waddle action. I think I'm trying to get a lot of receptions with a lot of different dudes. So Green has the 2 receptions. 34 for Waddle. 37 for Neal. 32 for Wendell. And Keith. Hayward only 16. I don't know. Let's keep it going with these guys. And Jim in average. Maybe he'll go into good. Who knows? So I've been doing a heck ton of red gun. And oh dear, another interception. Wow. Dome Patrol. So that was definitely not a good pass, but I wanted to do it. And first throw of the night for Harbaugh. Interception. And we're gonna cheese that. Oh, I like the cutscene. If you dive at the ball carrier, a lot of times you get that cutscene. Ooh. Trace goes down. Oh, perfect kick. All right, well, it's tempting to run it, but if I get stuffed, then Neal. We just got to get out of bounds. I think I had 3 fumbles last game, and I was just like, dang it. Keep thinking Hayward might popcorn some guys, but yeah. So we're gonna keep doing this. No, we're gonna take that. Oh, dipsy do Harbaugh. There's the 25 max speed. And 2 guys on Anderson. Wow. You definitely have to push the pass button in plenty of time. Or they will they'll get you. They'll get your buns. All right, so this is working really well. They don't want to guard Anderson. They have no respect for the running back. Finally. Actually, they don't guard him. They just sit. He sat behind the linebacker there. Wendell. Oh, Wendell bobbles it. Actually, he doesn't bobble it. He just doinks it. All right. So Neil says, I'm sure-handed. Man. I think we're going to bench Wendell for that. I think we're going to bench Wendell. Bro, you were wide open in the end zone. Wide open in the end zone. Come on, man. McAfee. I actually tried to not kick it into the end zone. Trace Armstrong. All right, so we're going to go... I don't know if their left guard is strong or what, but he has been holding... Hobie Brenner! I thought maybe he was going to burn everybody. But he didn't. Ooh, sneaky. Bang. Wolford so quick. Definitely a tier 1. Not that I've broken down the tiers for this version of the game, but he's definitely a tier 1 defensive back. I don't know who the best defensive back is. Could be Rod Woodson, although... Oh. Yeah, definitely going to bench Wendell, even though he's in good 63 receptions. Wow. No, we're not going to bench him. Dome Patrol. In fact, we're going to put Wendell at wide receiver 1. We're going to give him more chances to drop it. Dang. All right. There we go. There's the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Harbaugh. You see it here. Throwing dimes out of bounds. I definitely have noticed that happening. I don't know if they, if the pass accuracy, I think, might actually mean something in this version of the game. So since he has a low pass accuracy, I think that's why he kind of throws off target. Whereas the pass control affects whether whether you can get a covered catch or interceptions or whatnot. Morton Anderson. So another Bears turnover, this time on downs. Harbaugh missing a wide open Neil Anderson. We're going back to red gun. Wash, rinse, repeat. Hayward gets a reception. 0 yards, but he got a reception. Oh, that one was out of bounds. All right, 2 called plays in a row. This one is not called, and we know that because the defender went in motion. Jennings. And it's just really hard to avoid the dives, honestly. Anderson catches it. Jim Harbaugh. Slim Jim, some call him. Actually, no one calls him that. Just me. Slip into a Slim Jim. So only up 14-3. I always forget that they, you know, Mongo, rest in peace. I think it was last year or the year before that he passed away. So rest in peace, Steve McMichael. Ooh, in stride, Lemuel Stinson. Actually, not in stride. I was Wolford. But Lemuel Stinson, despite getting nerfed, gets a very nice interception. Man, he's not popcorning anybody. We just got to throw that one away. Live another day. Dropping a dime. All right, now we are going to get a little cute. We're going to go for the JJ to Neil Anderson. All right, that definitely could have been picked, but it wasn't. Ooh, right on the line. Oh, no. Right on the line. So, you know what we got to do? We got to QB sneak it. Gotta sneak it. Slim Jim! Boom! Lambo leap. Kapow. The double celebration. You got the spike. You got the hand slap. You got the nearly missed extra point. So you got some good cutscenes. It's good stuff. Ooh, still a touchback, even though it's on the 2. -2. All right, no cutscene for that play. I should probably change teams' playbooks to be a little more viable, but oh, I thought I might have that one. But Brad Muster probably has pretty decent reception rating. Trace Armstrong. They call timeout so that they can punt it. Classic Tecmo. But hey, punt strat. Some teams believe in the punt strat, and I can't do a fair catch. I'm not even going to try to get out of bounds. I'm just going to take that. And yeah, we got a little bit of a halftime show, so I can refill my drinky poo. All right, Harbaugh, 171 yards and 11 yards rushing. But the one pick. This one's going pretty well. So we gave a couple turnovers, but we also got the big interception by Lemuel Stinson. I never know how to say his first name. Ooh, and another turnover. I was thinking I should get out of bounds, but I didn't. And there we go. Saints special teams. Joe Kane. I didn't even get in the cutscene for the attempted block. All right, Green, what you got now? Another Fumby, maybe? Ooh, decent return. We're going to run what's up, Daniel Smith? How's it going? Happy Thursday night. We got some Tecmo Super Bowl Sega Genesis. Jim Harbaugh, the legend. So he's the starter for the Bears in original Tecmo Super Bowl, of course. But he's terrible. He's like the second worst quarterback in the game, maybe second or third. And I have a different idea for this series for Tecmo Super Bowl original. Perfect kick doesn't matter. Oh, you like the Genesis version? I haven't played it much at all. I'm much more familiar with the Super Nintendo version. I'm most familiar with the NES version, but as far as the 16-bit, so this is really interesting, to get. Oh yeah, the one you had growing up. So all these cutscenes are kind of new to me, and the fact that it's really hard to avoid. It's as the quarterback, it's really hard to avoid getting sacked. Like if you mess. Oh, and the block, Mongo with the block, and it's a safety because you can't advance punt. So Bears special teams doing work. But yeah, the breakaway speed. Oh, the division winner. Okay. So I did see that because when I bought the game recently, actually. See, my timing is like NES timing, and that's. So I've had the Super Nintendo version of Tecmo Super Bowl, 1 and 3 for a while. Got Genesis Tecmo Super Bowl 3 maybe a year or two ago. And I got this version like last weekend. So this is hella new to me. It's very fun to get familiar with it. Running is very tough at this stage in the season. Almost. I juked a guy and then broke a tackle, but they got me with the dive sauce. I was hoping he would dive. All right, we're gonna be bold. We're gonna be bad sports. Ooh, Neil is fast. Okay, that could have been picked. If Neil was slower, then that one would have had it might have had like a stop route situation. Oh, I kind of want to. Oh, Lorenzo White. Is he still on Houston, or is he on the Browns or somebody like that? Man, they call that pass one quite a bit. I call it. He's still on Houston. Yeah, I remember the Super Nintendo version. He's like a 56 max speed or something, like, which is such a boost from the NES version. Which wisely they don't really give in the NES version. They don't give the running backs much speed. I mean, they make Warren Moon like a 19 max speed. They even make their quarterback like scrambly. A little scrambly. Anderson. So we'll go ahead and take that. We'll pad some stats for Anderson. You know, it's tempting to do the check down, but I think it's gonna get really hairy really soon. I think we're gonna not have many deep options soon. So maybe it's okay that I practice those. These games do feel a little bit longer on Genesis. You know, I don't know what that's about. Probably just in my head. Ooh, Trace is there. Trace is there. Oh, incomplete. Stinson was there, and they're going for it, of course. Because their mama didn't raise one, but Trace Armstrong. All right. Woo. Yeah, very tough to run. Hayward not particularly fast. The Bears' offensive line, pretty garbo. Probably dumb to scramble it with Jim, but he wants a touchdown. He wants a touchdown. High five. All right, so we just walk it in there. We convert on the turnover on downs. Oh, he returns this one. How about that? The first kick return for the Saints. Man, they love calling past one. They really do. They're like, we're going to get him with the play action. Ooh. So you could kind of see it there. I definitely missed him a little bit with my dive, but safety. I was trying to get him on the 1 yard line. But I guess this is just as well. Harbaugh, look at his special teams prowess. Oh, tried to bounce it outside. 3 yards. I guess that's kind of realistic. Anderson! I'm getting out of bounds. I don't feel like fumbling. Not today, Satan. I think that's knocked down by the guy in the middle. Oh! And I don't know why I went out of bounds. Oh, vey. I went out of bounds. I just assumed that they were coming from a buns. Oh! I didn't even have time to break. Ooh, Harbaugh showing a little bit of accuracy. He could have sailed that one. He could have thrown it out of bounds. Oh, we're running up the score here. There's not really an easy way to just kill the clock. Especially because running is so challenging. And if I mess around too much with the Mongo, if I mess around too much in the backfield, then maybe Harbaugh will get hurt. And that kind of the whole point is to, I thought maybe Trace was going to snag one. Bang, John Roper diving in there. Ooh. Yeah, they're not fast enough, and the what you call it? The hitbox is so big for runners. That if you dive and you're just in the vicinity. I was trying to get the diver. Wasn't meant to be. We're going to be bad sports. We're going to be terrible sports. It gets me with the dive. I deserved it. I deserved to not get 60. All right. Neil Anderson on his way to leading the league in... Oh, by the way, this... It's kind of a bop. There's no reason that this song should go so hard. This is not the end of the game. This is... Well, it is the end of the game. It's the end of the match. But it's not the end of, like, campaign mode. Why does this song go so hard? Why is this such a bop? I don't know, but it's great. So perfect 8-0. Man, nobody else in the division even has a positive plus minus. I mean, partly and thanks to me. First in offense, pass, struggling with the rush. Maybe we cannot get last in rushing, but I doubt it. And wow. Okay. Man, Harbaugh with another big interception. But he's leading the league by 20 rating points, so that's nice. 800 yards winning. Yeah. And up by 22 touchdowns. So, is Neil? Yes, Neil. I think we can get Neil 100 receptions. I think we can do that. That kind of became my new mini campaign. I should have updated. I think Detroit is next. Detroit basketball. Classic black and blue division. Ooh, with the rain. And they still got Mel Gray. All right, so they got Barry, but I'm still going to call pass 1 and be Wolford. All right, so Green with the catch. Thought I might be under that one, but I wasn't. All right, so Barry's going to be a little bit of a problem, but, you know, maybe he'll put one on the ground. Oh, I tackled him with my ankle because the hitbox is so big. All right, and they call pass, as I did. So the strat of calling pass works. Despite them having Barry. And actually, I'm going to run it on first down. Why not? That's why not. Ooh, Hayward goes down. Yikes. Debacle. Well, toots. Lewis isn't bad. That's not really an option. Green. We'll put Green down there. First drop, he's out, though. What's up, Brandon? The one you grew up with as well. That's what Daniel Smith was saying. Broke your heart when it wasn't the best version. Yeah. I mean, that's fair if you say it's not the best version. I've, now that you say that, Super Nintendo is very solid, but because I'm not familiar with it, I've been really enjoying getting more familiar with it. A lot more cutscenes. It's really hard to evade the defenders, which is interesting. It almost seems kind of realistic. Instead of just scrambling every single play for like a free 5 yards, it's like, it's hard. And I enjoyed that challenge. I don't know if he's open, but we're going to him. Is not. See, it's like we didn't need that cutscene, but I like it a lot. That was nice. See, this guy's coming after me. I had to be ready for that. Ooh. Yeah, they got me. They got me. 3rd and 23. Not looking great. It's in the rain. I don't know if that's going to affect... Oh! Throws it way the fudge out of bounds. We're going for it, though. Because our mama didn't raise one. Okay, except that guy is covered. For some reason, I thought he automatically would be open. But that's not how that works. Oh, bang, Mongo. Steve McMichael, rest in peace. Very well may be the sack leader. Say the name. Say the name. The 85 Bear. Speaking of 85 Bears, Richard Dent. Oh, 3 in a row from Mongo. And the Bears defense, who get nerfed quite a bit in this game, at least from the NES version. Oh, yeah, I'm deep. Yeah, I played 7 games off stream just to kind of like get familiar with it. And because I wasn't like committed to playing this one, there were obviously other games I could have played to promote Harbaugh. Honestly, I think maybe the first... No, I'm thinking of Eric Kramer. I could have done one of the quarterback club for Harbaugh, although I think he's on the Colts and the Chargers for those. But yeah, I mean, running is so difficult. I'm used to that, from the NES rubber. Oh, Mark Green. And as I said, first drop, he's out. So we're actually going to put Anderson in. He's got great receptions, which helps because he's an excellent. But we need someone else to catch balls. Eric Wright has 0 receptions, and we're going to put him in. And we're going to go to him right. Bang. And out of bounds. All right. We still don't have points because we turned it over on downs earlier. I will say my offensive line has been holding up a heck of a lot better than in previous games. So I don't know. Ooh. I don't know if that was Jerry Ball, but he got me. I tried to dump it off to Anderson, but it wasn't meant to be. It is. I've found it pretty tough to get rid of the ball when they're coming down your throat. And Mama didn't raise one, so we are going for it. And right in the bread basket. Eric Wright had not seen the light of day, but Mark Green gets subbed out of the backfield. Neil Anderson fills his spot. And Eric Wright now. The time is now. I feel like the Lions haven't had the ball in forever. I'm going to sit on pass one still. And that's interesting. That is not... Okay. A lot of time, for most teams, their playbook is very similar to their playbook in Tecmo Super Bowl NES. And this is one example where they changed it a little bit. Like that one sit back diagonal running style. The one set back is not in the Lions. Like they are very run and shoot offense. Man, we're going to go draw. We're going to go run too. Oh, dear. Anderson. So he's got... He's so fast, he just like... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, taking a sack probably better than an interception. But everyone was covered. So my options were limited. Yeah, not really a great way to avoid that. Okay, that helps. Oh, I tried to find a way. I was looking at the first down marker. I was trying to find a way to get there. And I couldn't does it. I could not does it. Oh, ho, ho. Man, he juked me. I thought Sean Gale was on the wide receiver too. So I let him go. Covered the tight end, but Gale had been burned like a mother, and but Pete sailed it out of bounds. So what you gonna do? Ah, Gale getting beat again. I guess I can't be too mad. In the rain, the driving rain, bang, sticks him. Which in this game, this version, is a lot easier to do because the runner's hitbox is so big. Oh, the flumble! The flumble! Looks like Trace Armstrong or... You already know. Got to put Neil in because he's got that speed. He's got that speed. All right, the protection is there. Knee! Whoa, terrible throw. At least it's not intercepted. I can't say that I... the bomb to Neil, absolutely. I got to get my charger. I'll be right back. All right, so I have a negative 11 rushing yards. That's disrespectful. Only up by 7, so I mean, even though the Lions are not exactly threatening, they're only down by 7. So, all right, Neil, we need him in the backfield. Morgan? No, Wright. Wright was doing some things with that 44. Morgan, nope. So Wright is the dude. Jennings, Blackwell is terrible. Waddle, yeah, we got to utilize Waddle more. And someone pointed out on a stream one time that it seems like if a player later in the season has a lot of receptions, then it seems like he gets more attention from defenders. Whoa. Speaking of attention from defenders. So, dear. Should have checked it down. That might be overthrown. Yep. Should have checked it down. Oh, dear. Safety. He definitely was not behind the line, but is what it is. That was a huge safety. I'm going to go out of bounds. That was a huge safety. Never noticed that, but it's been a long time. Yeah. So Brand says, what's up, Brand? Good to see you. Do you think the AI was that advanced back then? Advanced, as far as the... I mean, they were very... I don't know. Based on vibes... For the Super Nintendo version, that seems to check out. If you're talking about them covering receivers more, yeah, I have not got scientific about it, but I used to do a lot of streams for like backups. Like I would play as a team for a season, but only as the backups, which, spoiler, that's what I want to do for Tomcat number 8 or 6 on this series. I want to play original Tecmo Super Bowl as backups only, which actually won't be that hard because the Bears have such an incredible defense. But in those seasons, especially because I'm limited on who can play Mongo, especially because I'm limited on who can play, someone will rack up a lot of receptions, and then it does kind of seem like they get guarded a lot. Barry. And they're just not even thinking about it. They're going punt strat. But yeah, it's based on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they don't. That's what someone said, like, in the chat, and I looked out for it. I'm like, oh, I'd never heard that before, so I looked out for it, and it did kind of seem a little bit to be true. Like, even they were even getting double guarded sometimes. But that said, Anderson is leading the league in receptions, and he's wide open. Granted, this is Red Gun, which Jennings. Oh, stand there, Strat. Because I didn't know if I could juke that. Drone, and Anderson runs it in. How about that? He does not have many rushing touchdowns, but he gets one there. The Bears, they were only up by 7 at the half, but then we got that safety, and then we kind of got rolling a little bit. So, here we go. Oh, Mongo. Mongo, I think, is going to lead the league in sacks and sackages. Deep to green. Oh, I was feeling that one. Bang. Richard Dent, my favorite Bear of all time. Super Bowl 20 MVP. I met him at Lollapalooza in 2000, maybe 10. We'll say 2010. This is the version that has a special jump over the line. Yeah, because they have that in Tecmo Super Bowl 3. So I'm used to it there. But, the computer does that. So, the computer pulls that out. Granted, I have not given them many opportunities to do it, but so Brand says, where does Mike Tomczak on the Bears all-time QBs? Honestly, not very high, but he's definitely on my list. My list is largely based on vibes, very largely based on are these guys in video games that I like to play? And do they have a certain panache about them? So, like, Cordell Stewart is definitely on the list because of panache. Like, his literally slash. did he have a great tenure with the Bears? Not really, but he's a very exciting player in a video game to play as the quarterback. So he's in there. It's been interesting to research some of these guys like Bobby Douglas. He did not have a good record with the Bears ever. Two fumbles, but they're both out of bounds. But he had the record for rushing yards for a quarterback. So it's like he's going in there. He's absolutely in there. Tom Zach is didn't have much of a career with the Bears. With the Bears, I don't think, but he's their natural starter in original Tecmo Super Bowl on NES because Harbaugh is rated so bad. Partly because Harbaugh's pass control, I think, is decent in NES Tecmo Super Bowl, but pass control is a moot statistic or attribute. Like there's a programming error so that pass control doesn't matter, and that's partly why Harbaugh is so bad in NES. So anyway, Tom Zach gets elevated to be kind of more of a notable Bears quarterback because of that. What a pass by Harbaugh. He led him by 4 yards, and Anderson flinger tips it. So I didn't really need that, but that was very nice. And Jennings. So Steve Walsh led them to some wins. Yeah. Jim Miller was decent. Yeah. I don't know if I misspoke, Brandon Plaster, but there's 2 attributes: pass control, pass accuracy. Pass control, like you said, to calculate covered catches and whether someone will intercept it. Pass accuracy is how close it will be, to where it's supposed to be. And in this version of the game, to its credit, I definitely notice that right there a little bit, especially if he had thrown it out of bounds, I think that would have been very much a pass accuracy thing. And he has sailed some passes. So it's interesting to see that, I think NES version, they meant to have that in there. I don't know if they just figured they didn't have enough memory to keep it in there. But the idea was there, and then it just ended up being a moot statistic in the NES version. And somewhat similar to quickness. Quickness means nothing in the NES version. It's just basically a combination between running speed and... Or is it... Oh, I thought that was an INT. I'm still going to call pass 1. And, okay, pro set. Let's go. Trace Armstrong. Okay. I'm going to call run 1. Okay, so it's a pass. Okay. Richard Dent. The legend. All right. So we are taking care. Oh, I tried to avoid him. Pat Swilling Dome Patrol. Sam Mills gave us yeah, I think they went to the AFC Championship. 1995 Colts, Jim Harbaugh. Absolutely. I think that was probably his best year. I have not dug into the minutia. And it's kind of funny because, like, you know, Peyton Manning gets drafted in, I think, 1998. And the rest is history. He's basically incredible for a decade and a half. But, like, yeah, in 95, the Colts went to the AFC championship, you know. And what's up, Judah? According to the ranker, Michael Tom Zach ranked 15. Interesting. Behind Doug Flutie. I didn't even realize Doug Flutie was a Bears quarterback. See, this is... I'm actually a Packers fan, but I live in Chicago, and I want to give props. I want to give credit where credit's due. The Bears have a quarterback. And all that. I did not realize Doug Flutie was a Bears quarterback. Okay, that's interesting. And 15 is not bad. I mean, yeah, honestly, Brand, there have been a lot of great ones. You know, and honestly, number 5. You know, I've had on the thumbnail a mystery. Ooh, Barry. Ooh, yeah, we got to give Barry one. Yep, he's got to get one. Honestly, I think I know who number 5 is going to be. George Blanda. I think I got to do it. He was the Bears quarterback throughout the 50s. Bears were not good, but it's George Mother-Lovin' Blanda. He retires and then plays for another, like, freaking 15 years, makes the Hall of Fame. So, Dave Craig. See, I completely forgot Dave Craig was a Bears quarterback. Eric Kramer, honestly, should be on the list. He was only the starter for like 4 years, but he, for a long time, maybe he still has, well, until Cutler, he had the best yards in a year and touchdowns. I think it was like 1995. So Kramer should be on the list. I think I'm going to go with Blanda, though, because it's George Blanda. But I can be convinced. I kind of want someone to just demand. I want someone to demand someone to be on there who's not on there. Because, you know, this is not my franchise. My franchise is the Packers. And so I have many blind spots. And I definitely you know, over appreciate. Well, yeah, Sid Luckman. So if you glance at the thumbnail, so I put him at number 2, not because his rank number 2, but like it was just kind of a numbers thing. Like, you know, Harbaugh is 4 because his jersey was number 4, and Punky QB is number 9 because his jersey is number 9. You know, so it's more like not a ranking, but just where they fit in, almost as if they were like, it's more like a relay race than it is an hierarchy when it comes to the numbers, you know? And I like that we start with Caleb Williams and we end with Cordell Stewart. But yeah, Sid Luckman, absolutely. I did a stream with him the other night where on Madden 2005, we took the Bears all-time team and we fixed it up. We took a lot of the players, including Sid Luckman, who they the game was like, oh, these guys are in the All Bears team because they don't say the player names and they get the jersey numbers wrong. But the height and the weight are very telling for who they want the player to be. Even the punter, whose name was like Bobby Joe Green or something, it was obvious who they wanted the punter to be based on the height and the weight. So I reduxed the Bears all-time team. I threw in whoever else I wanted to. Like I put in, I almost put in Alshon Jeffrey, but I put in Brandon Marshall. I put in all these guys that I wanted to. Some Tecmo guys. Johnny Bailey got in there, stuff like that. So completely agree. Sid Luckman. Yep. We already did the stream, and great point. Kurt Warner could have been a Bear had it not been for that Hornet. So I don't know that story. So what's funny is Kurt Warner was a Packer. He was like their fourth-string quarterback behind Brett Favre and like Ty Detmer or some shit. But yeah, I mean, Packers have had so many. Matt Hasselbeck was a backup. Punky QB won a Super Bowl ring as a Green Bay Packer. Anyway, man, we didn't get out of the negative on our rushing yards, but we got a lot of passing yards, and that's what matters. We're just going to go on to the next one. I was curious to look at receptions, but we're just gonna keep going. He got stung by a hornet. Was the hornet's name God? Yeah, went to the Rams, and the rest is history. I mean, in hindsight, it seems to be it was a perfect story for Kurt. And side note, Kurt Warner Arena Football, decent. Like on PlayStation, it's like NFL Blitz. It's like a B version of NFL Blitz, and I effing love NFL Blitz. So the B version is still pretty fun. But yeah, it's kind of a perfect situation. Marshall Faulk, those receivers, like, not to say that he would have fizzled out with the Bears, but it probably wouldn't have been, looking back in hindsight, it probably wouldn't have been an ideal situation for him. Maybe he would have been good, but it's probably best that he ended up there. And then he was really good with the Cardinals too, though, is the thing. Like, that's one of the best Super Bowls of all time. Real talk. Cardinals Steelers, 2008 Super Bowl, because 9 was the Saints. The season. Yeah, indoors helped, but I mean, that's, some people, the indoors doesn't help as much. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. And I think the potential, what matters is the potential is there, that Caleb Williams could own the top spot. And that's why I'm embracing the hype. Again, as a Packers fan, we got schooled. I don't want to say dominated, because really we just choked, but like there were a lot of reasons why the Bears beat the Packers in the regular season and the playoffs, but they couldn't have won either one if Caleb Williams hadn't been incredible. And that's honestly I'm just kind of acknowledging that, and it's exciting. Like I really hope he's there for the next 10 years. I think he and Jordan Love could have a beautiful rivalry. It looks like in Vikings land things are weird with their quarterbacks. Oh, with a JJ, Chris Carter. I think his name is misspelled. I think they give him an H in his name, by the way. I got to look that up. Nope, there is an H in his name. What? No, there's not. Yeah, yeah, no H. No H. So it's just kind of funny. Like why is there no H? But there's not. So anyway, quality control. I do think Tecmo Super Bowl NES gets it right. Speaking of Chris, Christopher Carter. Yeah, it might be Christopher, but I'm saying with the shortened version, for some reason there's no H. I don't know why, but he spells it no H. It's like Haywood Jeffries. Looks like Jeff Ayers. Bees would have bees. So we got. Oh, and guess who the quarterback is? Yeah, Zero Vikings is spelled correctly. I was about to say, guess who the quarterback is for the Vikings? You guys already know. I think he's actually given decent ratings though. He was comeback player of the year. But I don't think he really has any weapons, so that hurts him. Christopher Gannon. No, I thought it was Punky QB. I thought it was Jim McMahon. Is it Gannon? Haywood had 100 receptions. What? Zero Vikings is Zero Vikings. That's a strong argument. I thought for sure it was Jim McMahon for some reason. I could be wrong. I'm a Packer fan. I'm wrong about a lot of these things. Also, the cycle, like, so the cycle of you press A, it goes to a different receiver, A, it goes to a different receiver. It's actually different in this version than the NES version, and it messes me up sometimes. Wendell. Oh, barely gets it. But it's interesting. I'm not sure why they would have changed it, but they did. So here we are. I'm going to go Waddle because it's wide freaking open. And I was trying to make something happen. Tom Waddle, in excellent. Having a great season. Harbaugh, number 4, Bears quarterback. No! Oh, well. That's tough. Oh, you think it's Richard Gannon? Man, I thought it was Punky QB. I really thought it was Jim McMahon. It could be Gannon. Moonball Willis. Peter Tom. Peter Tom. I mean, he has 4 touchdown passes. He's got 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions. Oh, dear. No, Peter! No, Peter! John Randall, man. I remember that guy. As a Packer fan, John Randall and Brett Favre had a good rivalry. Randall was real. All right. Well, yeah, ground control to Peter Tom. Ground control to Peter Tom. The newspapers want to know whose shirt you wear. Ground control to Peter Tom. Ground control to Peter Tom. Here he goes, Peter Tom! Solid 2-yard gain. Mark Gastino. I don't know who that is. Underrated rivalry also, Brett Favre and freaking Buccaneers defensive lineman. In my mind, I keep thinking Dante Culpepper, but that's not who it is. One of the best Buccaneers of all time. Oh, he sails at Peter Tom! Peter Tom! Warren Sapp, that's who I was thinking of. Wendell! Got this idea once. I sped up a Tecmo Bowl video to 1.5 speed, and it looked amazing. Yeah, I mean there are some leagues that I think it's called HSTL, where they speed it up like the gameplay. So I would if you're on Discord at all, I would check those out. And Tommy Moonball. What's up, Adam? How's it going? Hope you're doing good. Happy Thursday night. We're playing some... Yeah, what you talking about, Tom Willis? Oh, man. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to yell that at some point when he makes a big play. Because he's going to make a big play at some point. John Ropa-Doper. John Roper, one of the leading... he's in the top two tree. He's in the top 2 tree sack leaders. We'll have to give a good NFL leader breakdown after this game. But the Bears are all over it. And it's interesting it's just very different than the NES version, where Meet the Ropers. I still have never seen Meet the Fockers. Meet the Parents was my favorite movie for like all of high school. And Zoolander was like my second favorite movie. So I guess I just was in love with Ben Stiller. But pay to Tom! To Tom! We got a Tom! To Tom! We got a Tom! Oh dear. Well, at least he can't get hurt. In all fairness, Rope-a-Doper only has those numbers because of the supporting cast. Yeah, I mean, well, and honestly, he doesn't have good numbers. Tommy 2 times. Tommy 2 times. 1 time. 2 times. Tommy 2 fumbles moonball. So Roper does not have good numbers. Well, okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant attributes, but he doesn't have good attributes. You're right. It's because of the guys around him. Although the Bears' defense in this version of the game is very nerfed. See, Richard Dent, he's still got good hit power, but his interception is down. William Perry, he's still got hit power. Mongo, he does have hit power. Okay. Jim Morrissey, very strong LB1. But yeah, Roper, Kane has some attributes. Roper, no attributes. Trace Armstrong, I don't think he has many attributes. So you're right. It is more about the cast around him. Speaking of, we gotta be Roper. We gotta be Roper. We gotta be Roper for the rest of the game. Yeah. And the Mike Zordich. So there's no Zordich in this. So we got Richard Dent, The Fridge, Mongo, Jim Morrissey, Joe Kane, Roper, Trace Armstrong, Lemuel Stinson, Wolford, who is their star, Mark Carrier, who gets nerfed. He only has like a 38 INT. Versus 81 in NES. He has the highest INT rating in NES Tecmo Super Bowl. 81. And then it goes down to 38. Like, was this game made by a Packer fan? Like, what's going on here? Lemuel Stinson goes from like a 69 INT. You're saying in this version of the game, Bears have the best secondary? Because they do not have a good secondary. Audrey McMillan also has 80. Well, I'm talking about NES. So I keep talking about NES Tecmo Super Bowl because that's kind of the most popular version. That's the version that's played competitively the most. So I enjoy the other versions. I enjoy Tecmo Super Bowl 1, 2, 3. On Super Nintendo, I'm more familiar with. I'm learning about them on Genesis. The NES. But yeah, McMillan, 81. I did not realize he had an 81. Wow. Yeah, Peter Tom. He 85%. What can you say? 85%. He's staring down, I think it's Punky QB. It could be Rich Gannon. I think if we look on the rosters after the game and we see Rich Gannon in there, then we'll know. Yeah, 86. Yeah, decent. Mr. Wendell. Oh, no! Mr. Wendell with the drop. I mean, it was a diver. Maybe that was Peter Tom. Maybe that was on Peter Tom. I don't know. The real deal Neil. Squiggles around. Real deal Neil. Oh. We got to go for it. Because our mama didn't raise one. Oh, you love a check. Ricardo. Okay. No, I trust you. I trust you. 1,000% believe. Well, I 90% believe you. I 90% believe you. I have no reason to doubt you. I think I just want it to be Jim McMahon. You know what I'm saying? Where's the real Tom? Real Tom was in the chat earlier. He was he's around. He might be lurking. Bang. Bang. If you're talking about Retro Sports Gamer Tom, yeah, he's lurking. He actually, this Saturday is his birthday, y'all. Retro Sports Gamer Tom, this Saturday, yeah, burner account. Whoa! The Tom squared connection, not okay. Ooh, you tell me. What do you think, Judah? What do you think? You tell me. 43? I need a guess from Judah. I think, wow, 48. Interesting. Yes. I think Mort is 43. So I don't know how long y'all have been watching, but back in the day, in the Demon Tap days, Mort was the oldest. I think Mort is about 43 right now. I just turned 42. Oh, 2019. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So you've seen all the shenanigans. So Mort is a year older than me. I just turned 42. DPS just turned 41 in February. And Tom this Saturday turns 40 years old. So he is, we're all kind of like 1 year apart. And then Matt, Sean, I actually don't know how old Sean is. He's probably like late 30s. I don't think he's as old as Tom. And then Matt, his youngest brother, Lumberjack Cracks. Matt's like maybe 36. Tom Waddle with a JJ? No, right in the breadbasket. Slappy. It's been a while. Well, yeah, appreciate y'all who have been here. It's definitely, I can't say we've been very consistent with the channel, but it is what it is. And this Tom Willis. Pay to Tom. Yeah, he's given some rest for the wicked Jim Harbaugh. Bang. I appreciate that, Brand. I appreciate that. It's unique. Part of what I love about it is it's just so dang unique. There are a lot of people playing retro games out there. All the Madden draft streams. Yeah. Tom's great at those. I enjoy playing Madden. I got a PS2 recently. So I've been playing a little bit more Madden, but Tom does great with the drafts. People love those. And honestly, talking about subscribers or whatever, we just don't get too dialed in and serious about marketing and social media. If we did, it would have more subscribers, but it is what it is. I like that it's small. I like that it's kind of a community kind of thing. Oh dear. Chris Dolman, the Pro Bowler in NES Tecmo Super Bowl. Yeah. New sports games, I have not been dialed in. I hear that only true believers. I hear that the Zelda games that they make these days are great. The Mario games, they still make really good games. There are a lot of really great independent games. Oh, the missed extra point. But that was a good quarter, 24 points. But it's just fun to give these sports games their shout out. You do have videos online that talk about the Tecmo Super Bowl series. Was it any good? Those are interesting videos for sure. Well researched, well presented, but it's like but I played a ton of Tecmo Super Bowl just for funsies against the computer and competitively, the last online league I was in, TAD, I went 9-3-1. I even beat DPS in the regular season, not in the playoffs. He won the whole league, but so I'm familiar with the series, so it's kind of cool to play it as someone who knows the games well. But a lot of these games I don't know well, and that's fun too. There's just a lot of opportunities. It's really fun to hear what people moonball to the bread basket all day. Hot Shots Golf. Yeah, it's interesting to hear these games that regularly get mentioned. Oh, CC. Was that Anthony Carter? Because I think Chris Carter is the top receiver. Are they double Carter? Are they the Carter family duo over here? Okay, so they got Chris and they got Anthony. All right. Anthony Carter, kind of a high tier 2 receiver in Tecmo Super Bowl NES. So yeah, he's basically the Vikings offense, just chucking it deep to AC, turning on the AC, if you will, and then trusting your defense. But yeah, Brand the other day was talking about oh dear, he's got a leg in the air. Not Chris. He is the AC. But the CC, no more CCs for CC. Yeah, Brand the other day was talking about Arch Rivals, and then I played that, and I kind of talked shit about it for 30 minutes, and then I started to really enjoy it. So it's really cool to hear what people, what they played back in the day, what their favorite, hockey game on Sega Genesis is and whatnot. It's cool to hear that you guys grew up with this version, because I didn't grow up with this version. I grew up playing, original Tecmo Super Bowl, but also Super Nintendo Tecmo Super Bowl 3 quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, after the first beatdown. Yeah, because it was like I really enjoy learning the logic of a game, you know, of a retro sports game. Like I really really enjoy learning what were they trying to do, you know. So arch rivals, and you could see the I mean the console isn't midway. I think the arcade is midway. But you can see what they're trying to do, you know. It's basketball, yeah, it's arcade basketball, but really it's just kind of this it's just this wacky arcade experience. And so I had to find a way to dive into it. Um and I also had to figure out like how I wanted to experience it. So I kind of kept oh, the flumble. Oh, no. Richard Dent, the fridge. Joe Kane. William Perry, the fridge. The fridge. And he's never looked skinnier. Yeah. So, you saw me keep trying to break the press, which isn't really like the best strategy, but I was like, this is how I want to play the game. I want to figure out why this doesn't work, you know. Yeah, it was really fun, and it'd been a long time in coming. I play a lot of Jam, and that's kind of where it all started. Oh, Denial! 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 With, I don't want to say game ceiling INT because I was up by 45. Tatum! 350 passing yards, no interceptions. Wow. I do hope that Harbaugh comes back soon for the sake of the stream. But Tatum. 10-0, not bad. Team rankings, yes. Rushing, so sad in last. Defense, wow. Leaders, we still got Harbaugh though, because they do the thing where you have to have a certain amount of what's it called? Like reps. Chris Hakel. I've never heard of Chris Hakel. Ever. Okay. You have to have a certain amount of reps to be on the leaderboard. So there is no Payton. Neil Anderson leading in receptions. Tom Waddle leading in yards. Andre Rison having an incredible season. So I got to watch my buns on the yards. But Tom, Wendell, and Neil all doing work. Keith Jennings, say the name. Touchdowns. We got Wendell, Tom, and Neil. And Keith. Everybody. Mr. Anderson. Everybody in the club. Mongo. And John Roper Nation. I forgot I was going to be John Roper for the rest of the game. Richard Dent. Leonard Marshall Nation slipping in there. The Fridge in the top 10. Whew. Yeah. So Wendell, Tom, and Neil, all 84 points. Wow. Okay. Okay. So Wendell, Tom, and Neil. We're going to try to play this next game without Wendell, Tom, and Neil. I got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm glad you reminded me because that was on my radar. Whew, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. Sean Salisbury. Fudge. I don't want to second guess Judah saying that they know it's Rich Gannon. But that said, where is Jim McMahon? You know? But also where is Rich Gannon? Because, Rich Gannon's somewhere. Yeah, ESPN anchor and in the longest yard. Wait a second. Dan McGuire, Stan Gelbach. Those are a couple names. Wade Wilson. That's where in the Cape. That's where Whiskey Wade went. And we got double Steve Nation, Young and Bono. Bono, a future 50-56 for a backup. Wow. Steve Bono takes the threshold. Holy crap. He's in good, but 63-75 is incredible. 44 max speed. That's way better than every quarterback's max rushing power speed, in NES Tecmo Super Bowl, other than QB Eagles. He's like in between QB Eagles and Rodney Pete. What's up, James Bond? How's it going? We're trying to find Ken O'Brien. Yeah, MVP Young, absolutely. Whew. Probably the best player in the game. Eric Kramer Nation, the future Bears legend. Mike Tomczak. Yeah, Young, absolutely great. Kind of, Niners only got one Super Bowl with him. But Packers kept beating him. Real talk. The Packers kept beating the 49ers until the T.O. catch. Bernie Kosar, Jay Schrader, Frank Reich, Magic Man. He is so bad. Oh my goodness. 38-44 actually isn't terrible. I mean, it's just bad. It's just regular bad. But he's nerfed to a 13 max speed. I know that's post injury and everything. Dolphins have the same quarterbacks as NES. Tecmo Super Bowl. They're probably the only team with the same quarterbacks. Boomer. Hugh Millen Nation. Kent Graham. Bubby Brister. So Randall, his max speed goes from 56 to, or is it 56? I think it's 56 to 50. Pass speed is a 75. Wow. 75-63. So his pass speed is more, I think it's 63-69 in NES. So 63 pass speed, 69. So his pass speed is more, his control is less. Herschel Walker. Chris Hakel. Wow. Who are you anyway? Hayward comes back. That does help. But no Jim Harbaugh. I mean, he'll probably still have the best rating. Oh, they have Wolford in. And I gotta take Wolford out because he's my best player on defense. And he can get hurt. So Hayward, we're gonna do no Anderson, no Waddle. Yeah, no Anderson, no Waddle, no Davis, just because. Yeah, I think Wright's up for it. 10-0. Here come the Bears. Jenny! Oh. I didn't have to risk that. I didn't have to shove it in there, but I wanted to. So we're playing the Colts. Interesting. And I'm going to say that Majik is still Harbaugh because I want to. So, second and long, they call run one. Morgan debacle. Going for it because Mama didn't raise one. Oh, well, we tried. We did what we could with what we had. Trace Armstrong holds him to a 3-yard gain. Jeff George. Oh, Richard Dent. Trace Armstrong got obliterated. Ooh. Looked like Mark Carrier missed the whatchamacallit? The defender deflection. But Lemuel Stinson held firm. And it was a 3-and-out. Keith Jennings. Bam. So slow. I barely ever call this shotgun play. Morgan. Bang. Great pass by Peyton. Very easily could have thrown that. He could have sailed it. But he nailed it. Verdine. Also the returner on the NES version. But he doesn't want to return that one. Bang. Trace Armstrong. Getting the sack. Ooh, the check down is not there to Johnson. Mongo in there, and he blocks it. Bang. All right. John Stark, the Pro Bowler in NES Tecmo Super Bowl. And the punter gets the tackle. Called play. They were like, no, we do not want Paytatom. Right. And he gets the juke. Good job. Nope. Woo! He sailed that one. Paytatom. Wow. All right. Whoa, the JJ interception. Tony Stargell. The receiver is wide open, but Paytatom throws it right, and here comes Richard Dent. Super Bowl 20 MVP. Mungo. The NFL sack leader. Bang. Rick Stark. Ron Stark. Flips the field. Only up by 7. Oh, the fumble. Whew. I felt like I got rid of it in time, but I didn't. Called play. They don't want that run 3 from Hayward, so we're at 3rd and 20. Right. Bang. Needed that one. Mark Green. Bang. That might be his first touchdown of the year. Paytatom. He's trying to overtake Jim Harbaugh for the best ranked quarterback in the league. Verdine very humbly takes the kneel. Ooh, Jesse Hester with the covered catch. Can't get that one. Double coverage. Bang. That defensive line, you know, I've been talking about triple coverage. Been talking about the defense getting nerfed, but there is some hit power on the defensive line that has made things difficult for opposing offenses. Mark Green trying to find a way to get out of bounds. Three yards on first down. We'll take that. Ah. Oh, man. I just bumped the wrong button. Man, that's not how you overtake... that's not how you overtake your teammate for the number one slot. Now it's got 3 interceptions, I think. That's... Mungo. All right, we push him back, so this field goal actually isn't a gimme. But this looks like decent accuracy. Oh, no, he schlanks it. He schlanked it. Mark Green, it's underthrown. All right. Well, I think we're going to practice one of these. Might have been a tiny bit high. Wow, very high. Well, it was good practice, I think. Peyton, 2 interceptions. Kind of been the story of the game, but 260 yards passing. Ooh, I thought maybe that was going to be picked. Lemuel Stinson and Mark Carrier up there, even if they don't have particularly high interception rating, you know. All right, Colts get a first down. Good job, Colts. Mungo. He might have almost 30 sacks for the season. Oh. Trace was there, as was Sean Gale. Didn't matter, though. Dang it. That's what they're going to need, though. If they're going to get past these Bears, they are going to need some covered catches. Maybe many covered catches. All right. Touchdown maybe kind of wins it. kind of surprised at guys being open, but you know, maybe it is because I've got the guys with oh, the fumble. Eugene Daniel. Bears are only up by a couple touchdowns. You know, this isn't like a foregone conclusion or anything. Man, Mongo. Richard Dent. Man, that did not go their way. That was such a big fumble recovery. And they did nothing with it. Speared me. Only 1 yard. Morgenstern. Bang. Beta Dome trying to kind of end this one with a touchdown would pretty much seal it. And now's his chance to Morgan, but he sails it. He sails it to the moon. Oh, hey, Chip Banks. Chip Banks housing this one. And we got a blocker. We got a blocker. All right. Bears go for it on 4th down. Called play. Anderson fumbles. So it would have been a turnover anyway, I guess. Onside. That's not the move. Yurkovich. Unless you get it, of course. Wow. So they're down by 7 with 5 minutes left. And they go for the onside. Interesting. Peitatum! It's schlapped. It's schlapped. 3rd and 2. Peitatum! To Alex Wright. All right. Only up by 1 touchdown. Called play! Wow. Lost 10 yards. Oh, Dwayne Bickett. Ooh, barely gets it off Mark Green. Mama did not raise one. Nope, not a chance. So it's not a great play to pick on 4th down, at least if that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm probably better off doing like a pass 3, the shotgun, and trying to do like a JJ situation. Oh, Mongo doesn't quite seal the game because we're only up by one score, but that was big. That was a big Mongo sack. This is for the win to Keith Jennings. Bang. Tom. Probably too many interceptions to have an incredible rating, but he's keeping this Bears team afloat. They are maybe 11-0. Verdine. John Roper. He hasn't got many sacks recently, but he was one of the leading sackers. Bang! Richard Dent and Trace Armstrong combine. And the Colts are cooked. They are cooked. Another fumble by Hayward. Damn. Wow. And we have a cutscene of just football on grass. I'm just going to eat that one. Honestly, I wasn't feeling that. Didn't want to throw an interception. Well, this one is safely out of hand, so I don't feel bad about that. Culver. All right. At least it wasn't picked. We'll ride that. Oh, they call a timeout. Screw you, Colts. Screw you. Morgan. Man, you call a timeout on me when I already got the game won? Touchdown. All right. Only won by 23. Payton. 438 yards. I mean, they're leaving a lot of these guys open, honestly. All right, 11-0. I played 4 games. I'd like to try to get 3 more in before the night, despite it being 10:40. I'd like to get 7 games in. But we'll see. We'll see if people are watching, if people are commenting. We'll see what goes on. Bears very close to clinching the division. If the Packers lose or the Bears win, I think we get the division. So that's very nice. 4,000 yards offense, 37 pass. Struggle bus with a rush. Payton. Payton. He's only got 2 interceptions, 14-2, Okay, his average is better. I think his average yards per pass, I think, is what's propelling him to be first, because his completion percentage isn't as good, and his touchdown to INT rating isn't as good. So, yeah, it must be the yards per attempt that is propelling him. But Tom trying to steal this stream from Jim McMahon. Mongo with the 30 burger. John Roper holding strong at the 2 spot. Richard Dent, my favorite bear of all time, in a solid third. Dome Patrol Pat Swilling. This is not the Chicago Bulls, Patrick Williams. Pat Swilling in third. William Perry with 11. Okay. I'm going to man Richard Dent this next game. We're going to try to get him past John Roper. Okay. Richard Dent Nation. All right. Receiving, Neil Anderson Nation. Andre Rison having an incredible year. Michael Irvin, Sterling Sharp. Okay. So Tom Waddle and Wendell Davis need to get back into the mix. Wendell Davis, Tom Waddle. Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't think I've played the Packers twice, so we might be playing the Packers. Nope, we're not, because they just played the Colts. All right, we are playing the Dolphins. Okay. So Harbaugh does not return, which means that he doesn't have a chance to take back the number 1. Okay, I said I was going to be Richard Dent the whole game. The fridge. The fridge. Okay, so being Richard Dent, potentially really will propel William Perry, the fridge, up. No. But this is why we subbed out Wolford for Green on the returns. All right, so that reminds me that we want yeah. We'll put Waddle at tight end. You know, we're going to do a lot of red gun, per usual. Waddle! Bang! Pitatum! Okay. So earlier in the stream, we were talking about if a player has a lot of receptions, does that affect the computer's attention to that player? Doesn't seem like it in this version of the game. Because, I mean, Tom Waddle has quite a bit of receptions. The fridge getting free. The free fridge. Richard Dent. Third 19. All right. Bang with the tackle. Hayward injured again. That's tough. I mean, I guess we're putting in Anderson, you know? Like, I don't want to mess around too much. I know he's already leading the league in receptions, but John Arfidal, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? The fridge. The fridge versus Marino. Wow. Incomplete. Same exact thing. Shotgun. Oh, but Stoyanovich, one of the best kickers in the NES version, rattles it in. And that was big for the Dolphins. Honestly, this is one of my favorite matchups in the NES version. Especially if you can get the Dolphins as player one. Because, yeah, best defense in the game. That mutes Marino a little bit. But Dolphins with a sneaky running attack, a very good offensive line. You know it's time for Pay-Tatum. Anderson draw. Oh, man. Just lost all those hard yards won by Pay-Tatum. Oh, what a dimer by Pay-Tatum. Man, maybe I need to put Peter Tom Willis as the number 5 Bears quarterback. but I don't know if he's in any other video games other than Tecmo Super Bowl. He might be in a Madden or two, Madden 95 or something. Ooh, Trace Armstrong. Not quite with a coverage sack. Yeah, we'll say coverage sack. To Higgs. In the backfield. Oh, the fridge. The fridge. Man, William Perry having a frick of a game. A frick of a game. All right, 14-3. Bears not exactly dominating the Dolphins. They are on defense, that's for sure. Bait at home to Tom Waddle. Great check down. Not quite a check down. I mean, it was... I mean, I was not out of bounds, but in this version of the game, Tom Waddle does not drop it. Thank you. Bang. You call run, hot route. All right, I'm not going to say that's GG, but 3 scores, that's going to be tough for the Dolphins. They need at least a field goal on this drive, but it's not looking promising for them. Williams, Jarvis Williams, Keith Byers. Covered catch to Irving Fryer. All right. Richard Dent gets in there. Oh, thrown through the fingertips of probably Sean Gale. They're calling timeouts. I'm still going to call pass one. And it's pass one. John Roper. In this, the runner-up for sack leader in. Oh, triple covered. No INT. Man, I knew that wasn't a pass because I picked pass. So I should have just guarded the run. Rattles in Stoyanovich. He's excited about it. All right, but this is still a 2-score game. This is before 2-point conversions. Damn it. Well, that was just as well that went out of bounds because I panicked. All right, nobody's there. Good job, Tom Waddle. What's up, Didier? Or Dwayne? I want to say that's Dwayne. It's thank you. It says it right there. I saw the logo and I thought, Dwayne, how are you doing? We're just chilling, Tecmo. We got kind of a BS touchdown, but we'll take it. We're celebrating the Bears QBs. We're celebrating Bears QBs. Jim Harbaugh got hurt, so we're having to go with Peyton Willis, and he quietly has overtaken Jim Harbaugh for the league leader in passer rating. So, very generous measurement. And John Offerdahl comes in like a rocket. Bang. First and 5. You already know what it's time for. It's time for Peyton to scramble for 0 yards. Neil Anderson gets 1 yard. Right in there. So, yeah, Tecmo Super Bowl on Sega Genesis. So, yeah, we had a rainy game earlier. Maybe later we'll have a winter game or like a snow game. You can't choose the weather. This is in season mode. Maybe in preseason mode. Maybe then you can choose it. William Parry. I decided to be Richard Dent this game. And he's freeing up the fridge like a mother lover. Not sure who picked that up, but Peyton. I tried to do the check down to somebody. Just obliterated. We're going to do that one again. We're going to run that back. Yeah, I had no real options. I didn't feel like throwing an interception. Wow, I'm up by 4 scores. I didn't realize we were just dominating Marino like that. Fridge gets Keith Byers. Good defense there by Wolford. Roby. Nearly a perfect kick. And is hurt. So, we got Mark Green hurt. We got Darren Lewis hurt. Which means we got to have Donnell Wolford. So, wow, we're pretty banged up, honestly. We've got the stream namesake, Jim Harbaugh, hurt. We've got Ironhead Lewis hurt, and then we got 2 returners hurt. Darren Lewis and Mark Green. So, you know, the one that really matters is Jim Harbaugh, since this is supposed to be his stream. This is supposed to be his shout out. And unfortunately, most of the time, Morgan. Well, doesn't really matter. Wow, he checks it down to the double coverage instead of the 2 guys that are wide open. All right, there we go. To Fryer. And Fryer goes down. Okay. So the Dolphins experiencing some not great luck as well. Tony Martin Nation, who is Joe Kane. Tony Martin is a backup on the Dolphins and NES Tecmo Super Bowl, who rarely gets William Parry, who rarely gets the light of day because the Dolphins have so many weapons, it just doesn't really make sense to put him in. Like, he's got to be... Oh, covered catch to Mark Ingram, but 4th down and long. Marino trying to do it on his footsies. No dice. Yeah, the stretcher scene. Yeah. It is dramatic. I appreciate the drama, you know. They're trying to tell a story, you know. And it was certainly dramatic that Harbaugh got hurt, given that he was the league passing leader. However, Peter Tom comes in and just plays like a pro. So, you know, makes it less dramatic in that regard. But yeah, I've got 4 guys hurt on offense. Tatum. Speaking of Peter Tom. Oh. They all converge. John Grimsley, the former Oiler. Wendell Davis. Mama didn't raise one. / We're padding our stats. Oh. So he threw him. He didn't throw him open, but he threw it to a place where at least there wasn't a defender. So, you know. So that's going to help Peter Tom's argument for, honestly, MVP of the season. Because he's got the best quarterback rating. And you can't ignore that when it comes to MVP. Even if, I mean, he wouldn't get it like in real life because he hasn't even played half the season. But I'd say statistic-wise, he's playing at an MVP level. Higgs with a big gainer, 30 yards. Okay. I see you, Higgs. Higgs trying to do it both ways. On the ground, through the air, all the things. All the small things. Mungo, the league leader in sacks. The fridge, though. The fridge, that might be his 8th sack of the game. Real talk. Tony Martin. Oh, he overthrew him. Yeah. Oh. That's fine. Jeff Cross Nation. Wow. Sometimes Peter Tom fumbles it. All right. Well, still up by 5 scores. So, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah. There we go. And they run it. Yeah. $400 yards for Peyton. Tom Waddle, 236 yards. Wow. Yeah. Right. Well, we won the division. 7 people are watching. 12-0. I'm going to use the restroom, and then we'll talk out what to do next. Ooh, backups version, says Dwayne. I have not. That'd be really interesting. I love me a backup season. All right, Dallas. Dallas only 11-1, so they are trying to get the 1 seed. No, and I don't know this game well enough to know like who would be the best teams to do that as, or the worst teams, but man, I'll be thinking about that. because I kind of want to find out who the worst team in the game is from a backup season only standpoint, and then play as them, you know? So you got me curious about that. Or maybe I would just do one as the Packers to start out with and see how it goes. They do have Reggie White on defense. You know, so I don't. How much does it matter if you have one great defensive lineman? I don't know. You know, but yeah, I'm curious. I don't know. Dang, yeah, I'm gonna be last in rushing, and that's tough. Pay-ta-toom. Pay-ta-toom. 24 points above Jim Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh is going to come back for this next game, though. I really do. I think Harbaugh is going to come back. Neil Anderson leading the league in receptions. Tom Waddle leading the league in yards. And the Bears claim the podium for second, third, 4 touchdowns. Mongo. Perry just goes up to third in the league. All right, so now I'm going to be the fridge on every play. Harbaugh! I knew he was coming back. All right. This is the last game of the night. Harbaugh is back. And here we go. And you have few defensive guys in this version from the 85 Bears. Yeah, we got Richard Dent, William Perry, Steve McMichael, I think Jim Morrison. I don't know if Trace Armstrong is the guy. I don't know if Lemuel Stinson is the guy. I don't know. I think Donnell Wolford is the guy. I don't know if Sean Gale is the guy. So the defense, there's a lot of boys. Offense, nobody. Wendell Davis, I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody. But I think there's there are definitely guys on defense, and I said I was going to be the fridge. All right. Man, 2 plays in a row just obliterated. The fridge obliterated. But I mean, if they want to do Green out of bounds. Okay. Green with that one gets the covered catch against Sean Gale, I think it was. Dang it. That's supposed to be the fridge. Ooh, Richard Dent. And Jim Harbaugh is back. And he takes a sack. From the Dome Patrol, Patrick Williams. We're going to call run 1 because we're stubborn. Debacle. Mama didn't raise one, so we're going for it. And we're going QB sneak. Dang. Their linebacker or somebody got in there so quick. Ooh! Dang. He's blowing up my line. Oh, dear. Oh, Waddle is fast enough to get the first down. He needed that speed. Wait, why is right? That doesn't make sense. Oh, because I have 3 hurt running backs. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, Gale was on the 85 Bears. Okay. See, these are things I should know, but I don't. Fudge. Like when it comes to the Bears, I know Tecmo. When no. Oh no. All right, that's going to hurt his bid for best quarterback in the league. Debacle. Barry cuts it outside. Barry Sanders. Bong! Did that one all himself. The league leader in sacks. Man, threw it out of bounds. That's not the move, Rodney Pete. That's not the move. All right. Here we go. Jim Harbaugh is back, but called play, 8-yard loss. Tom Waddle, bang. Let's go. Jim Harbaugh trying to evade Peace Will, but dang if that's difficult. Dome Patrol. Woo, barely gets that off, and it's a JJ interception by Brian Blades. No, Benny Blades. Benny Blades. Brian Blades is the wide receiver. Green with the covered catch. Another covered catch by Rodney Holman, the former Bengal. Bang. Richard Dent, big sack. Woo! Back-to-back sacks by Richard Dent. Sanders kicks it outside, but no, it gets chased down. It's field goal range, though. This could be a little high. Field goals seem tough in this version of the game. It's outside. Debacle. All right. This is a big drive. Tried to avoid the peace wheel, but I couldn't. He might be in the top 10 of sacks after this game. Just because I can't freaking avoid him. Wendell Davis getting it done. Doing what he needs to. Getting the catch. Getting out of bounds. Okay. Neil Anderson gets a few yards. Called play. They don't want... They fear the Jim scramble. Or the Jim... Wendell. The Jim sneak is what they fear. Dang. Tried to get rid of it so that it was incomplete, but we lost a few yards. All right, big third down, 0-0. Waddle could not evade the defender. Another call play. They are not feeling that Jim Harbaugh scramble. They read the thumbnail. They know what's up. Jennings with a big touchdown. Keith Jennings from Jim Harbaugh finally gets on the board. His first game back in about 4 weeks. Gets the Bears on the board against their division rival Lions. The Bears have won their division, but they have not clinched the 1 seed. And Mongo leads the league in sacks by a pretty significant margin. Covered catch to the namesake, Herman Moore. Barry Sanders kicks it outside. 10 seconds. And he is corralled. 1 second. Don't know how that happened. But. Oh, they go run. They go run strat. And looks like Sean Gale gets a body on him. The Colts Harbaugh was fun back in the mid 90s. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I mean, that was probably his peak. That's probably his peak as a player. I don't really remember how good he was in on the Chargers, for instance. He's in some of those oh no! Scott with a big interception. Yeah. Barry cuts it outside. But yeah, he went to the AFC Championship with the Colts. So, you know, definitely further than he got with the Bears. Mongo adds to his league-leading sack total. Oh, Barry so fast. I thought if I just held him up at a strategic point, then maybe they would corral him, but they didn't. So it's all tied up. 7-up. Heads up. Full bar Hansen. Respect. I'm going to immediately kneel that. I'm not even going to mess around. All right, 7-up. 8.5 minutes left. Harbaugh can't. Harbaugh. Oh man, I'm trying to take an angle to where I don't get sacked immediately, but whew. Mama didn't raise one, even though we are oh, and the drop. Well, I guess it wasn't the drop. There was a defender there. Could have been picked. Oh, big turnover. Richard Dent. You already know Richard Dent. Oh, dear. I was trying to check it down to the running back. And by the running back, I mean Neil Anderson. Oh, they're going to measure it for the drama. Ooh, that was very risky. Definitely could have been intercepted. Third quarter, but we need to get on the board. Don Majkowski and Harbaugh. Wow. Yeah. Majkowski's the backup quarterback. For the Colts. Definitely has like zero good attributes. Wow. I'm not quite sure if that was a covered catch, but Tom Waddle Gets a huge touchdown from the man, Jim. Legendary Bears quarterback. Oh, he takes it out. Mel Gray. Only to the 12. And Mel Gray goes down. Probably doesn't affect this matchup too much, but it'll probably affect the Lions if they make the playoffs. Richard Dent. Coverage sack. Oh, Richard Dent dives in there. Super Bowl 20 MVP. Probably the dagger. I mean, I could definitely make a mistake. Tom Waddle reminds me of the Jeff Chadwick Lions stream. Oh man, yeah, that was a good one. That was like some COVID goodness. Seahawks. That must have been the Seahawks, of course. Yeah, it must have been Stouffer and the Seahawks. Oh, man. Chadwick Nation. Yeah, sometimes you just got to roll with the backup. Oh, Neil Anderson! I mean, for better or for worse, a lot of the backups for Tecmo Super Bowl NES are the same. Like statistics-wise or attributes-wise. And honestly, they're the same as some starters. So, like, oh, that would have been the game. That would have been the game. The dagger. Here comes Harbaugh. Oh, what? He was not out of bounds. Oh, that was the game. That was the game for Waddle. If he could have caught that, that was the game. The fridge. Wow. He sailed that to the moon. Bang. Rodney. 3rd and 6. This is kind of the game. Not really. They're in 4-down territory. Mongo. Yeah, they need this. Defense special team season. Yeah, I did last fall I finished the Bengals and then I did the Eagles. Yeah. So maybe I need to bust that out again. Maybe I should do that with this version of the game. That'd be fun. What do you think would be a good team to do it as if I did it with this version? McMichael. I'm guessing the Niners and the Cowboys are really good all around. Man, he threw into double coverage. Not a good choice. It would be fun to do that with the Packers, the defense special teams, because they have Reggie White, you know? And Reggie White's probably one of the best defenders in the game. So that alone gives you a shot. What's up, William? Saying defense special teams as in pick defensively strong team. Well, so the whole thing is so you can't move the ball on offense. That's the whole thing. So you can only score points through special teams and defense. So defense scoring usually happens through safeties, like field goals. So on special teams, field goals, but also punt returns for touchdowns, which rarely happens. Kick returns for touchdowns, which happens sometimes depending on which team you are. So like in original Tecmo, the Steelers and the Saints have really good kick return teams. So you might get like 5 or 10 kick return touchdowns in a year. You know? But it's mostly safeties and field goals, honestly. And then when you got the ball, you got to punt it every time. You got to punt it or kick a field goal. Those are your two options on offense. And then on defense, you're trying to push them back to either get a safety or push them back so far that when you return a punt, you at least get it past the 50-yard line, so you got a shot at a field goal. Well, I mean, the way I do it, also returned fumbles, if the other team fumbles it and you pick it up, you can house it. There's nothing against that. If they throw an interception, you can house it, although that's very difficult. Like, returning an interception for a touchdown is very difficult. But it's legal. So, defensive touchdowns through fumble or interception, valid. Special teams touchdowns through no passing or running. No passing, no running. No offensive snaps. No offensive snaps. You just punt it or you kick a field goal when you have the ball. Those are your two options. Punt it, kick a field goal. Or miss a field goal if you want to miss a field goal strategically, or whatever. But no offensive plays is basically what it comes down to. No offensive plays. Deontay says, does it count if they kick an onside kick and you return for a touchdown? I say absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, I say. Yeah. Bump up that plus minus differential. Yeah. So I've done it. I've done a couple of those. I've done it with the Bengals and the Eagles, maybe with the Steelers as well, in original Tecmo Super Bowl. But the Bears would be an interesting team to try it as because they have such a good defense. And they have decent kick returners, I think, or decent punt returners. The 49ers would be a good team because they have a very good defense and a very good punt returner. in because their strong safety is very fast, so their punt return team is good. Plus, they have Tom Rathman, who has a high hit power, so he's decent at returns. I got to take the camera out and plug in the power.